Welcome to Homebrew Wednesday. Today we're going to go ahead and continue on with our little wine series. Today I'm going to check the gravity on the Sangiovese wine, and I'm also going to check on our cherry wine. And I think what I'm going to do is end up stabilizing both of these. And I also bought another kit. I bought a Riesling kit, so we'll see if we may get around to making that one as well. So like I said, I've got so much beer right now that I decided to concentrate on making some wine instead. But I will be making a beer for the SJ Pour Challenge. So due to some prompting by a couple of people, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So anyway, let's check the gravity on this, and then I'm going to show you what the wine actually looks like in the glass. So stay tuned. Okay, this time rather than actually taking the reading in the wine thief and then putting the wine back, I'm actually going to draw some out this time and put it in the glass so we can see what it looks like. Just want to make sure my wine thief is good and sanitized. Alright, we'll get our glass ready here after I test the gravity. Go ahead and draw some of this out. And I can't hardly carry 6 gallons of this, so what I did is I pulled it out of the shower over there where I've got it. In case it explodes, I always put it in my spare shower. And then if it blows up for anything or whatever, then I can always just take the hose and wash it down. So I just pulled that rug, this rug over there, and then pulled it out, set it on there, and drug it in there. I'd say that's probably enough to take our reading with. Put the rest of that back in there. So let's check to see what our reading is. Alright, and there you can see the reading is pretty much down to about as much to the bottom as you can get. So this wine is done fermenting. So let's take and put some in the glass so I can show you what it looks like. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and carefully pour this in here so my hydrometer does not come out with this. So here you can kind of, let me get a light. Okay, you can kind of see what color this is. Of course, it's not a very good light, but it's a dark, real dark burgundy color. Like I said, it's cloudy, a little bit cloudy right now and stuff, because number one, I drug it across the carpet or across the floor on that rug. So it kind of stirred it up a little bit, but I haven't put any of the stabilizers or the clarifying agents in that. Okay. You can kind of smell the grapes in there, not a whole lot. I smell a little bit of alcohol. Because you have dark grapes. I'm really sucky at explaining the flavors of things. I sense the smell of stuff too. Okay, let's try this. That's nice, that's real nice. So this is what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to back sweeten part of it, probably most of it, to say a semi-dry wine. And then I'm probably going to leave several bottles of this just straight dry wine. I like dry wine, but the rest of the people in the house do not. So if you want to keep brewing, you got to make Mama happy. That's really, really nice. So what we're going to do is I'm going to set this in the refrigerator for just a few minutes just to put a little bit of a chill on it. It's room temperature now, but it's probably around 70. So I'm gonna put this in there and let it chill to about 60 something, and let's go check on this cherry wine. Okay, our cherry wine, let me rinse this out real quick. Sanitize this. I have not decided yet exactly what beer I'm going to make for the SJ Core Challenge. I've got to get done sometime soon, so. Alright. So we're going to rinse this real quick. We're going to check this as well. Hydrometer and our sanitized wine thief. So let's pull a sample of this out. Drip, drip. And this has been sitting, I made this sometime before Christmas, so this has been sitting for a while. I have to go back and look, but you can really tell the clarity on this as compared to the other wine. And like I said, this one has not been stabilized or any clarifiers put in this one either. But this one's I'm going to clarify this one with Sparkaloid, and the other wine will be clarified with Chittisan. And then I've got the third one, the Riesling and stuff, it's actually clarified with isinglass. So that would not be a vegan wine. Yeah, this one's bottomed out too. And if anybody wonders what isinglass is, it's made from the swim bladders of sturgeon fish. So here you can see, it's like I said, this is completely bottomed out too, so it's absolutely done. Look at the clarity on this wine. I mean, that's just absolutely, that's really clear, and I have not done anything to clear this up. But you can see all the way down the hydrometer. So let's put this in a glass and see what this is like. So I said the last time I tested this or checked this, I believe it was about probably a month ago, maybe more, since I've been kind of lax on doing the Homebrew Wednesdays lately. Which, busy, busy, busy. So let's pour this in this glass. I'll use a little bit taller glass so you can actually see the clarity of this. But look at that. I mean, that's really very, very clear. So, this smells and stuff different than that. Number one, this is cherry, so it's going to smell a bit different. But this actually has more of a dry smell to it than the Sangiovese does. So like I said, it's probably had 3 months more conditioning than the Sangiovese has. I'm really anxious to try these wine kits. I've heard a lot of really good reviews on them. So, let's try this one. That's tart cherry. That's tart cherry. It's very, very, very mild. Not a lot of cherry flavor there. But it is there. I mean, there's a little bit. But it is a pie cherry wine. This is not made with the sweet Bing cherries or whatever that you find in the supermarket. This is actually for pies, as the cherries are for this. But that's really nice too. So what I'm going to do now, since both of these wines are done, I'm going to get my aerator that I use for the beer, and I'm going to whip the hell out of these wines and put the clarifying agents in, and also the stabilizers. So stay tuned, we'll be back to beat the hell out of our wine. Okay, I've got my wine beater along with my wine beater t-shirt. It's a what? It's a wife beater t-shirt. Oops, my bad. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take my packages of potassium sorbate and also my potassium metabisulfate, and we're going to dissolve these in a half a cup of cool water, and then I'm going to add it to that and then beat the hell out of it for 2 minutes. Just pretend it's a malt liquor drinker. Okay, we have our half a cup of cool water, and I'm going to add the contents of both of these packages. So like I said, this is the potassium sorbate and the potassium metabisulfate, which stops renewed fermentation if I decide to back sweeten this, which I'm going to do. Alright, I'm going to stir with my sanitized spoon until I get this dissolved. Alright, so let's add this to our carboy. So we're going to put this in the carboy, and then we're going to beat this with our agitator. Okay. Woo! Oh, and someone had said something about they were afraid to use this inside one of these plastic carboys because they were afraid it was going to scratch. This thing doesn't go out far enough on either side to touch the sides of the carboy. Granted, you want to be careful with it, but like I said, even spread completely out, that's not going to touch either side, and I've not had any problems with this, so it works good for me. And I want to make sure and get that yeast pulled up off the bottom of this, because that has to be in suspension in order for this to clear this as soon as I add the clarifying agent. And I'm going to reverse the drill. Okay. You'll watch the CO2 bubbles coming up from the side of this. And I want to beat this pretty good. Now you can see the bubbles coming up. And I do have another battery ready to go, so in case this one dies. Right, I think I'm going to let that sit for just a second for that foam to go down, then I'm going to add the chitosan. Alright, time to add our chitosan. I just want to cut off the corner of this package. And there's nothing like making your own beer and wine, cider, food. It's independence, it's not relying on someone else. And so, now I'm gonna beat the hell out of this for another 2 minutes. And I really want to make sure I degas this good. Stop every couple of minutes and see if I got any more. Yeah, but I still do. Bubbles coming up from the bottom. The foam at the top I'm not real worried about, but it's like I can see bubbles coming up out of the actual wine itself, so. Okay, so I think we have our wine sufficiently beat to hell. So what we're going to do now is I am going to drag this back into the other room. Like I said, this is really, really heavy. 7 pounds times 6, whatever the hell that is. Approaching, what, like 42 pounds, something like that. I suck at math. Okay. So, I boiled some water. I'm going to add a cup of water and a tablespoon of the sparkleoid to that. So let's start with water in here. And I think when I get done doing all this, I'm going to treat myself and make some chocolate chip cookies. What do you think of that? Let's see. Back shot. And I want a tablespoon of the sparkleoid powder. Stuff is like really almost like talcum powder. It's like really lightweight, so I don't know if it's some sort of a clay or exactly what this stuff is. That's good. So anyway, got that. Once again, our sanitized spoon, and let's stir this. So this has to sit for like 5 minutes. So in the meantime, since I've got my carboy, a new carboy sanitized, we're going to rack that cherry wine off, and then I'm going to beat the hell out of that when I add the sparkleoid. So I'm just racking the cherry wine off. I've got my sparkleoid in my 1 cup of boiled water. And apparently I thought I'd been recording this whole entire time, and apparently I've had one too many to drink. That seems to happen to me quite a bit. I don't know if it's alcohol or old age. So anyway, this wine that I'm racking off and stuff, this is the 3rd or 4th time that this has been racked. So, like I said, I'm trying to get it as clear as possible before I actually add the stabilizers and the sweeteners and everything. And also the clarifiers. And this sparkleoid, after you add it to the boiling water, it has to sit for like 5 minutes, so I've probably got like another minute left. Then I'll go ahead and put it in there. But I'll show you the sediment that's left at the bottom of this cardboard when I get done. It's not going to be a lot. Like I said, this has been racked like this is the 3rd or 4th time this has been racked. So I think in order to, we're going to go ahead and add this in here now. So like I said, that's a tablespoon of the sparkleoid powder in a cup of water. Boiling water. As soon as I see that I'm picking up sediment, then I'll stop. But I've probably got like half a gallon left in here, so I want to make sure I get every single bit of it. Because we no longer have access to the cherry trees. The farm where we got this has been sold. So no more cherries and no more grapes. So from now on I'll probably be doing things by kit, unless I can find some fruits or something that are pretty cheap. Which that's alright. For the time and effort involved and stuff, the kits are actually a pretty good bargain. The Sangiovese I tasted earlier. Mwah! Good stuff. Okay, I think we're going to call it quits there. So like I said, we don't really have, there's not a whole lot of anything left in the bottom of this carboy as far as sediment is concerned, so that's a good thing. You can see there's just really very little left. So now that I've got that in there, I'm going to go ahead and beat the hell out of this wine. I'm gonna wait until this clears or whatever, and then I'll back sweeten it. So we'll just put the airlock back on that for now, and then we will put that back, and then we will revisit this one last time before I bottle. So thanks for tuning in to Homebrew Winesday, and we will be back and we will check on this. Probably about 14 days, I think, is what the Sangiovese requires. So then we'll come back and see this and see what this looks like after it's been clarified. So we will back sweeten everything then. And so I will see you then. And in the meantime, I will probably be videotaping my beer brewing for the SJ Pour Challenge 2014. You guys made me do this. I wasn't going to do this and stuff. I was going to just opt out this time. But no, you just had to insist, didn't you? Didn't you? Yeah, didn't you? Boobs, ja. Boobs. Und sie boobs, ja.